Okay, now the civil rights movement. Now you hear everything. I know everybody knows about the civil rights movement here and what happened. I just extrapolated a few of the stories for us to have. Dr. Haley is certainly the main person who spark plugged the movement and organized the demonstrations. And it was a pretty horrible time here in St. Augustine. And when you talk about revisiting the family, I often think of how many families were divided because the kids wanted to protest and the parents said no because it was dangerous. And I, as a mother, would have felt the same way, okay? But you know, kids have a mind of their own, thank goodness. And 8 brave soul students from Florida Memorial College braved themselves and sat at the lunch counter for service, of course, which was denied. And of course, they went to jail. Others returned the next day. And 2 days later, the McCrory store was picketed. Hank Johnson, bless his heart, did a one-man sit-in McCrary's lunch counter. Can you imagine just deciding to go all by yourself, knowing that others went to jail and they were beaten up and whatever? I mean, it takes a courage that I don't even understand. But he was bailed out by none other than Sammy Davis. Okay? Sammy Davis did a lot of stuff that we didn't know about at the time in terms of helping the civil rights struggle. Now, he became the founder of the Freedom Riders. The most memorable experience was when he was protesting. He was from here. He was protesting in Alabama on a bus with kids protesting, just wanting opportunities like everybody else. But I don't know what to call them. Those who were protesting got wind of it and they surrounded the bus, broke the wind, cracked the windows, whatever. And they tried to get out, but the bus door was locked, couldn't get out. Can you imagine what went through your mind when that happened? Just looking at it gives me goosebumps. But anyway, luckily, I don't remember how the bus, David would know how the bus got open, but they threw a bomb in and I guess it jogged the bus. And before it exploded, they got out. If not, all of them would have been killed, okay? And they show that in a movie at some point, and it just really, but it shows the extent to which angry people do crazy things. So, when Dr. Martin Luther King came here, of course his life was threatened, and he had to move from house to house. I never forget the other story of Ambassador Young. When he was protesting, he was knocked down by a policeman. He got up, knocked down again, got up, third time was knocked down again. This policeman, 40 years later, let him know that he was the one who did it. Asked for forgiveness. Now how's that for love to forgive? So those are the kind of stories that are so important that happen here. Now, when my husband and I moved, of course we moved on the beach. And, you know, we both love the water and things, so you know, I said, let's go, because we're just 100 feet from the beach. He said, oh no, we're going to Butler Beach. I said, Butler Beach, that's 4 miles. Oh, we got to go to Butler Beach. We got a beach right here. But it's a story. During the Civil Rights Movement, the Atlantic Ocean was a bloody ocean because of the fights and trying to hurt blacks with the clubs. One guy raised his club to hit a youth, and a young woman, Joanne Wells, jumped between the guy and the kid and said, if you want to hit someone black, hit me. And he dropped his club. He said, go ahead, hit me. He lowered his head and walked away. So those are the kind of stories that really, during the Civil Rights Movement, makes it so historical, the struggle, but I believe the struggle was worth it. You know the story of the acid placed in the pool for the Munson Hotel when children jumped in to swim. And a friend of mine told me the next day to put an alligator in the pool, so it was really pretty bad. The saddest experience, I think, was the 4 African American girls, students, who had a spotless school record. But because they participated in the demonstrations, they were adjudged juvenile delinquents and sent to correctional institutions until they were 21 years of age. Okay. The good news is that 2 years ago, the governor, it wasn't Scott, the governor gave a pardon to what had happened, which shows the goodness that can come out of evil. So the civil rights movement changed all that.